So a lot of people may know that it's been a while. It's been a little while, just a little itty bitty while, where I had to do some self-reflecting and reorient my chakras and figure out what the hell I'm doing with myself. What the arts mean to me and what I mean to the arts, etc., etc. You know, that kind of weird Doyleist thinking that no proper critic concerns himself with Doyleist thinking. It's all Watsonian nowadays. If you can't criticize a piece of media from within its own logic, then what's the point? The author is dead. I killed him myself and I threw him off the bridge. I don't like Watsonian reviews. I've started to realize that they come across as excessively whiny, as they do not consider the experience of the person participating within the media, and concern themselves only with fridge logic, to an extent that's just very healthy to me. Now you might say, Safi, isn't that what you're technically doing? I'm saying what any editor would say. Like, I'm talking about that experiential sort of thing. Like, I'm reading a lot of fics, and some of them are not great, some of them are, just average, or good. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's, just something to pull out because you got a minute to yourself. You might as well. And the truth is, Miss Katsuragi, it takes a special kind of disagreement for me to get angry. And I've noticed that in Doom a lot. Listen, I'm fine with Doom when it's hard. And I've said some things that I kind of regret, where I've said, like, the worst thing that can happen is that a player dies or has to reload. I'm going to retract that statement. The worst thing that can happen in a game is that your player save scums or stops giving a shit. And death generally contributes to that because it resets progress. You have to try again. It's not new. The game kind of silently judges you. There's a lot of stuff that makes a death in a game. It's just discourages. Now, death as a learning experience, like it's done in the Souls games, tends to be more alright. Although I don't agree with the sentiment either, because the original Dark Souls were built on the idea that you can be clever and get your way through it. And a lot of modern Souls is just like, hey, how fast are your fucking fingers, buddy? And I hate it so much. Not that I play it, I just look at it and go, yeah, I could never enjoy this. The same way I could look at a Slaughter one and go, I don't see the fun in this. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm willing and I'm mentally capable of going, it's not for me, but I can see who likes it. But I also think there's a risk of knowing how to do something well and using it as a cudgel to defend your own insecurities. To say that something is inherently bad and flawed because you aren't enjoying it. I'm the smart Mr. Artman. I know everything about the arts. Surely, if I do not enjoy, then it is garbaggio, and I make up some funny reasons that sound convincing enough. There's that risk of letting your sense of knowledge blind you to your own biases in an unhealthy way. It can happen in somewhat healthy way, where it's just like, I don't want this, and you just never give it a shot, because, it's going to take like 30 hours to get to oh man, my throat suddenly immediately turned super dry. Don't worry, Safi. The JRPG gets good 50 hours in. Okay, cool. How many hours of the game are left? 2. I wish I was kidding when someone told me it takes you. Don't worry, you just have to play this game like 10 times, and then it gets good. Then you get how the TTRPG works. I'm like, can't the onboarding just be a little bit more accessible at that point? I don't know what to tell you. You can't sell this to anyone. You have if you're going for that narrow clientele, fine. But my God, man, that is a hell of a risk. But I guess that's the point, right? That's why you do it. Because the fucking capital ain't gonna do it. They're too busy trying to get their money out of the situation. They're not gonna invest in this absurdly goofy niche idea. Go for it, my man. Just don't expect me to be nice about it, because I don't like it. I mean, they never asked me to review it. Is that not the trick to be learnt? What the hell is going on? I ate something today that I've never eaten before. It's like sour. I think it's sour. I think it was actually sauerkraut, or used sauerkraut as an ingredient. All I can say is that I thought it was kind of neat. I had a good time with it. forgot what I was thinking because my brain locked up. You know, that's good job, Safi. You're so good at your job. This is why you are a well-paid streamer, and everyone thinks you're the coolest shit in town. Everything you contribute to the situation is just work of art on its own merits and the merits of others. Like, goddamn, man. Goddamn. I don't know what to think. Don't worry about it. How was this the second best thing that happened to you today? Man! I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that, okay? I don't know how to feel about that. I'm a little lanky. Actually, I'm always a little lanky. I'm always a little lanky. There's just a part of me that's just filled with vitriol. I mean, technically, I'm literally full of sourness, as I just mentioned. I did, in fact, eat sauerkraut. I rarely actually have, like, sour dinner. Yes, sour. It's just sour. But, man, it's kind of zesty, you know? I mean, I didn't mind it. The flavor wasn't bad, but, man, it's got some kick to it, you know? Wakes you up. It also had pineapple on it. No, I don't like pineapple very much. Not on pizza. I don't like pineapple very much. But I like pineapple flavor, just not pineapple the fruit. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, though. You got pineapple, cheese, mashed taters, sauerkraut, and then, like, minced meat. And I'm like, man, wow. What an idea. I find myself in this awkward position trying to justify my actions. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. The Liberty Cabbage. Liberty Cabbage. That's a hell of a name. Alright. I'm just gonna do a little stretch. We're just gonna get to it. I'm gonna keep one thing straight. I hope that I've been able to overcome my insecurities, but I promise nothing. We might just go back to the way things were, and I'm just gonna have to accept that I'm an asshole. I mean, I say that, but I think there's a beautiful irony that as this happened, I also happened to play a couple of Doom WADs that just make me so angry. How's that happen? It just felt weird how the Kako Awards devolved into this very specific flavor I don't like. But on the other hand, ain't that just how archaeology works? You dig up new strata of society every day. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to it, buddies. It's been a couple of weeks, so please allow me a moment to warm up. And do not forget, the traditional contributions is $50, or fractions thereof. Similar to how fractions of a Bitcoin are Satoshi, and fractions of $1 are cents. Fractions of $50 are 50s. You might say, that's a little confusing, but don't worry. I flick my nose with my pointer finger because I'm very smart, and I'm implying I'm about to say something. Don't worry. It makes sense in the end. After we were done with the arcade, our parents picked us up to try out a few more of the attractions, doing a run through the rope course before finishing off with a pleasant seat of the Ferris wheel. The last one... Shit! Oh, well, no, I forgot something. I forgot something so important that if I don't do it, I'm just gonna shit... I'm gonna shit a metric ton of bricks. Please hold on. It is politely requested that you hold the fuck on! Okay, how do we do this? Control F? No, I need to edit as HTML. Control F. No, Control G, right? I would like to search for... What am I searching for again? I am searching for paragraphs that are just blank space indicators. Also known as ampersand NBSP semicolon. Yeah, I'm looking for that. Yes, but I would like to replace it. That's why I'm doing this function, my good sir. Hello? Oh my god. Okay, now it's just fucking with me. Now you're just having a laugh. Stop having a laugh! It's not funny. God damn. So stupid. Firefox, console inspector, control shift, control for the next result. Oh, that's why I fucked up. Because I'm stupid. What else is new? No, don't open my bookmarks. That's a different hotkey. Okay, and I would like to replace it with nothing. Thank you. And now we do. How do we exit this? I just exited, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, baby. Get a load of this. It's fixed. I got rid of all the stupid white spaces that I hate so much. I'm not. Listen, I know why this happens, and all I'm gonna say is, I care a lot about this stuff. Okay? I care a lot about the presentation of things, which is why I got really annoyed when I found out that bolded text doesn't hold up, certain types of formatting are just ignored. For some reason, despite the fact that things like this sometimes, there are some things which support underscore, but don't save underscore if you copy underscore. It's just the whole thing. That just makes me wonder if, you know... Anyway, let's get to it. After we were done with the arcades, our parents picked us up to try out more of the attractions, doing a run through the rope course before finishing off with a pleasant seat of the Ferris wheel. The last one being kind of boring, admittedly. Before long, all of us were reseated in the car, driving out back as outside got darker. The headlights on to illuminate the road. How would you know, Anon? You're not sitting in the front seat. You can't see the road. That's dangerous, Anon. Oh, I'm so pissed off at your parents right now. Nasser and Olivia were asleep. Anon, you are just as much of a... Like, wouldn't that be something, right, for Anon to be like, man, I love being an adult where I don't fall asleep every 5 minutes when he was a baby. He's like, man, you know what sucks about being a baby? I have to sleep every 5 minutes. Fuck. Try this tongue twister for a warm-up. Pitiful people prepare, plead plentifully... Wait, plentiful platitude, phenomenal... That's not a P. Patriot pounds, poundingly perverse puppets poping, pleasantly putrid pasties. Pitiful people prepare, plead plentiful platitudes, phenomenal patriot pounds, poundingly perverse puppets poping, pleasantly putrid pasties. Why not pastries? You're missing an R there, buddy. Unless you... that's scandalous. Olivia and... I don't know, my brain is just Olivia and Nasser's the natural order for this. Nasser and Olivia... I don't know, is there an order for that in English? Is there like an inherent sort of mental brainscape order that is culturally defined, just like how adjectives in English have like an order to them? Nasser and Olivia were asleep, or is it just personal preference? The former's head resting with his good wing resting back with his good wing draped over him like a blanket. I never got the idea that Nasser's wing is all that comfortable. It seems to be made out of leather. AKA, it's just skin, which... I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd be warm if I rubbed my hands over myself like that. I mean, that's a good way to warm up, but... I mean, I do like sim. Oh no, I disappointed someone. I forgot. We got... This is one sentence, baby! How many words is in this one sentence? I'd love to know. Hey, Notepad++, you happen to have a summary tool, don't you? Where is the summary tool? Oh, here it is. 66 words to a sentence. Is a lot of words to put in one sentence. Nasser and Olivia were asleep, the former's head resting with his good wing draped over him like a blanket, and the latter with her head resting against his shoulder. That, just make it a period, man. The two of them quietly... Oh, that's fine, actually. Oh, this is 2 sentences. It's just that my brain is so expecting there to be another comma in there. It had been a long but fun day, leaning my snout over my claw to stare out the window as I heard Mom speak up, looking at the rearview mirror. Oh, that's adorable. Dad briefly peered up at the mirror before looking back down. Why doesn't he peer back down? A small but genuine smile on his snout as he continued driving, pulling up through the parking lot of Nasser's dorm. The car came to a slow stop, Dad turning his head. We're here. Okay, I got a question for you, right? Let me lay this out for you. Why can't they just already be there? Like, you can just start the scene with Anon waking up right there, and it changes nothing. Like, just do that. It makes him seem less like an alien. I guess the point is that he's an alien. but physically he's not an alien. He's just like them. So it would be more sensible for him to be as tired as they are. Although I guess it's... No! Shouldn't Nasser be less... Because Nasser is like literally a fucking track star, while Anon is just like a boxer guy who's not technically doing this. I'm just saying. Although I guess Nasser's a little younger. He got that going against him. Watsonian logic, bail me out now. The car came to a stop, slowly turning his head. We're here. The two of them suddenly snorted, awake, unaware of just how close they had been as Olivia placed a claw to the side of her drowsy face, snout opening up to let out a yawn. Nasser groaned as he stretched out, the good wing partially unfolding before nodding his head. So is the other wing just completely incapable of moving? Or does it hurt? Like, is there something that stops him from doing it anyway? This should have been him, not me. I'm sorry to tell you, but Nasser and Olivia are not happening in this. It is explicitly going to be Nasser... Did I say Nasser and... Oh, no! I'm sorry, I gotta pop up the text. Anna, you ain't feeling the allegations. This time it was my fault. I can't believe I made Anon gay. Alright. He then looked up front. Thanks for bringing me to the mall, Mr. and Mrs. Eggles. The Mall of America, for there is nothing as American as the Egyptian pyramids. No problem, Dad responded. It was nice to have you as company. Nasser nodded with a smile, turning his head to Olivia and I. Thank you both for inviting me. He then looked at the baryonyx specifically. I had a really great time. I love that your fucking dad intimidated a tween Anon. Like, holy shit, what was the deal with that? I don't know. Like, Nasser is like, not, like, they're like, aren't they still in middle school or like early high school? Which means your dad just intimidated a child who probably doesn't even know what fucking sex is to begin with. Like, boom, my brain explodes. Get your dad under control, Anon. You're probably older than him, mentally speaking. No, probably not. His dad was like older than 18 when he was born, right? Who knows? He's close enough. Anon, you should be able to have a decent conversation with your dad, even if you spent the last 18 years hanging out with children. That's like the most awkward part of it. It's like, yes, I'm 100 years old. Technically, I'm 120, but I spent like 60 years of those hanging out with kids for no good reason. But Anon wouldn't that be like 36? Don't talk about the extra 20. We don't talk about the extra 24 years. Suffice to say, he died again. Another incarnation story for no good reason. Anon, you can't keep stacking this stuff. Just you watch. And he takes out a gun and goes, just you watch. I'm gonna be a 100-year-old baby. Anon, the 100-year-old baby. Hell yeah. Who needs Benjamin Button? Olivia paused, opening a snout as if wanting to say or do something, before closing it shut, slowly nodding. She says something! Why does she... Like, I feel like the problem I have with this, right, is that this section of text is... Hold on. This section of text is explicitly like, what is the mood of the situation? And then it just goes, before closing shut. Why don't you have a section after this that goes, before closing it shut, as if she had as if she had changed her mind? Because you're clearly setting that up, right? That is what you're setting up, is that it's a change of mind. But Anon never follows through on that thought, for some reason. Even though by this point... Shouldn't it be... Like, I get that you want to be subtle with the audience, but if you're going to be subtle with the audience and rely on, like, that kind of communication, you can't have Anon explicitly say it and then just not follow up on it. Not in the same sentence, at least. It's really awkward. Also, and this is like a thing that I really hate, I personally think that if you are in a character's head, this not related to this, unrelated. I hate it when you're inside of a character's head, and they are capable of thinking things you, the reader, are not privy to. I'm not talking about a guy writes something down in an autobiography or he retells an event to someone else and he's providing interpretations. No, I mean, per the narrative, we are quite literally in that person's mind. This is happening real time as far as you are reading it. And somehow this person is thinking something, and we're not shown it for some reason? Should we not be privy to this person's... Like, that's the whole point behind what happens in Snoot Game, is we are privy to all of his thoughts. I hate it when a story uses that framing device, that narrative device, and then says, but I'm not going to talk about that. And it's like, who the fuck are you saying this to, man? You're in your head. Why are you telling yourself you're not going to tell yourself something? What? I've seen it happen, and it drives me nuts. What is the narrative device? What's the framing? Are we in his head or not? Oh, man. Yeah, we're privy to his most intimate thoughts, how he wants to bang that lady, but he's not going to fucking tell us about his dad. Unrelated to this, but it's like one of those things I saw, and it's just stuck with me for the rest of my fucking life. I'm stuck with this now. See you next week, she asks. Of course, Nasser beamed, opening the car door to leave. Just don't draw my snout too big when you get the chance. Always the fucking snouts. The baryonyx giggled as he closed the door, walking to the entrance of the building as Dad slowly drove away. Where the fuck's your dad going to? Oh yeah, they're at Nasser's dorm. I forgot. I thought they were like parking at his house. Schizophrenia. Oh, you silly little mind goblins. I'm not letting you in on my dirty little secrets. Honestly, shouldn't Anon be like the exact... Hold on, there's a little spit on my screen. Shouldn't Anon be the exact character to be like, if anyone's reading my mind in a retelling, fuck you. He's like the perfect meta character to make a stupid joke like that and then go, that's the stupidest shit I've ever thought. Personally, I just like those kinds of meta jokes a bit too much. It's unhealthy and it tends to ruin the scene sometimes. Safi, shouldn't you finish Ranger in the Fog? Yeah, but it might as well be dead, because after everything crashed and burned, and now I'm just sad. I also haven't looked at it in a while. Maybe that's the problem. Have you considered, Mr. So much has happened in the weeks that I was gone. God damn it, there's more spit on my screen. Where's all the spit coming from? Is it the spit goblins? Now you might say there's no such thing as spit goblins, and I have bad news for you. The Baron... Okay. There was a brief pause before Edward spoke up. I just want to stop you, Anon. Is he your dad or not? Okay? Why are you referring to your dad in the first name like this, after you just called him Dad? It's my dad. There was a brief pause before Dad spoke up. You could just say he, actually, because technically it's already established. The last name in memory is the dad. My dad. It's my dad. Good day. Good day. I agree. I'm surprised that... Stop! Olivia suddenly yelled. Dad slammed the brakes. Can you slam the brakes singular? That's a very unsafe car if only one wheel has a brake installed. Seatbelts briefly tugging against us. Shouldn't it be forcefully slamming into you? Like, brief tugging to me is like, eh. Getting smacked into your seatbelt is, ah. Against us as the car came... I mean, I guess they're kids. They don't have a lot of mass. As the car came to a sudden halt, my parents turning to the baryonyx. What's wrong? Mom asked worriedly. I know worriedly is probably correct, but I don't see it that much. Olivia's eyes glued to the seat where Nas had been sitting as a claw reached down to grab something. His smartphone. How the fuck do you forget your smartphone in this day and age? They're massive thin slabs. They get wedged into your pockets. How did it... Who the fuck puts their phone in their back pocket and sits on top of it? What world have we come to that this is just acceptable behavior? Just sit on your fucking phone with your fat ass. Although, in Nasser's case, the problem is that his ass is finely chiseled, so it will scratch it to pieces. You know, being a track star and everything. Oh, heck. There was a disconnect. I hope it's okay.